see, when you have been caught in the trouble of not preaching Christ, you can only become a social worker. You just be socializing, greeting people, and recognizing them and thanking them for finding time to come to the church. That thing was causing me stomachache. As he was talking, I was saying, oh God, what is the meaning of this now? Why do you need to thank them for finding time to come to their Creator? So, the time came when they said, now, we have a visiting preacher who is going to take a brief time. Intimidation. He was just intimidating me all the way to make sure that I don't. So they managed to call me up. So I stood and I begged God. I said, God, they told me that these people have no time. Give me a hook. I need a hook now. I need a hook. So we opened the Bible. A certain man had 2 sons. So we are talking about the prodigal son. By the time we started, hi. Oh, wonderful. Do you know what happened that day? When the vicar was trying to come and say time, I wanted to intimidate the vicar also. I said, well, the vicar has been making sign to me that you don't have time and that this is the only time we have. They said, no, gone. Hallelujah. They said, yes, this is what we need. This is what we need. Do you know when I gave altar calls? It was overwhelming. They've never seen that kind of thing in that campus. Professors were coming out in tears. When I said, now all of you kneel down before the Lord. Everybody. And I said, now, you've struggled for years. You thought you would find peace in academics. Did you find it? I told them the story of what discouraged me from being an academic. There was something that discouraged me. I wanted to be an academic. But when I got to the university, with all the excitement, I was planning to read maths or physics and get to be an academician. So one of those evenings, suddenly, around 11 p.m., something 12 midnight, I didn't know what I was doing, that we passed through the chemistry lab. And I saw light. So curiosity took me to the chemistry lab. And I saw this, my lecturer. 12 midnight, he was watching his experiment. He was captured with his experiment. He was doing like this. 12 midnight. I tried to make signs so that he would know that I was passing. Now, you know, I was wondering if he does this every night for 1 year, what will happen to his marriage? Many of those guys, their marriages have crumbled. And while I was watching, the Holy Spirit said, of making of books, there is no end. and much research is only say a sorrow to the heart. So I went back to my room that night. I needed to decide where my destiny will lie. I said, now, oh God, I thought when I get to this climax, I will rest. He said, no. There's no rest there. You have to struggle to be relevant. If you want to live that life, it's all right. I also have people who are there, and you can be there. I said, Lord, is there nothing else I could use my life for than knocking on test tubes? I would like to touch lives. That is not to say to you that it is wrong to be an academician. It's very good. But priority must be set first. If you are only because you want to serve Christ, that's great. But if you are there only because you would like to make a name, you are in for a process of endless struggle. Endless. You know that day when these people were filing out and giving their life to Christ, and I stood there, tears was in my face. You know why? I saw my lecturer. My lecturer was teaching us quantum physics. And one of his theory that he was bringing out that time, which I was struggling with, was that he said, if we were to measure the distance from the earth to one of the closest galaxy, let's say that is heaven, and if prayer travels at the speed of light, which is the highest known speed on earth, we should calculate how long will it take to send prayer to the nearest heaven for the result to come back. When we calculated, it was going to take 486 years. So you see, he arrogantly concluded that is why he pities those who are praying mantis, who say they are praying all the time. Instead of wasting your time praying, one prayer will take this number of years before it comes out. I lifted up my hand in the class. I said, excuse me, I beg to disagree, because God answers prayer, and in fact he has answered my prayer this morning. He said, no, you are brainwashed. These are all imperialism has confused you. Imperialism. Huh? He made it to look as if being a Christian was being foolish. But that day, I saw him coming out. You know, when we finished, I was eager to go and meet him. I wanted to say, welcome, sir, welcome, sir. He said, no, you don't call me, sir. I have become your student. It took all these years. Why didn't you compare me that time? I've wasted all my years only to find the truth now. You have to teach me. He asked me to follow him home. He was going to give me a special lunch. He said, you are my teacher now. How can I learn from you now? My professor, who taught me that prayer is of no use. Listen, when we respond to the Greek who is seeking wisdom, we rob the cross of his power. When we dance to the tune of those who are only looking for empty signs,